Hello everyone, welcome to your quick stock market outlook for the week of November 28th. I'm Corey Mitchell from TradeThatSwing.com. This week we're going through, once again, same thing every week, just looking at overall market health, how recent watch lists have been performing, sector performance. What this does is it gives me an overall sense of how healthy the market is. If the market's healthy, then I can look for strong individual stocks that I want to trade. Then I can look for patterns within those stocks and wait for the triggers that tell me when to get into that trade. So that's the overall trading process. This video looks at overall market conditions. That sets the stage for all the other steps in the process. We can look at, these are the swing trading watch lists that are currently underway. And so those would be this step, looking at individual stocks, patterns, and then waiting for the trade triggers. Heading into the week of November 28th, market conditions are very good. That means I will be taking swing trades if I see setups that I like. So zeroing in, market conditions are good, so then we can dig into the individual stocks, find setups that we like within those stocks and trade them, because overall conditions are good. That's going to put the wind at our back in terms of trading performance. Let's look at the indices. We're looking at the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, NYSE, and the Russell 2000, each showing a little different segment of the US market. Then we also have the Canadian index, and I've just thrown on here the India ETF because it's been one of the strongest. I passively invest in a India ETF just to take advantage of this strength, and just long term I like India as a growth prospect, but that's more investing, not so much swing trading, but just throwing it up there for something else to look at in the bottom corner. Our main focus here is the Canada and US for swing trading. And the main thing to see here is that we, over the last month or so, we have been building these higher swing highs, higher swing lows in all these indices, just, breaking through prior levels that were prior highs, and some a little bit stronger. The NASDAQ 100, more technology. It's a little more flatlining the last couple months, but even that, we're still, we have pushed into new high territory since October or so, and still moving up. Not quite as strong as some of these other ones, but still moving up. I'm mostly concerned just about the short-term uptrend at the moment. I don't so much care about these prior highs because an uptrend has to start somewhere. We have to be moving up in order to hit these levels at some point. So I'm not too concerned that we're below those at the moment. Yes, there's a longer term downtrend in play, but at least right now we're moving up. And then we also have the health indicators, which we're going to talk about next, and they help us determine whether it's a good time to be trading or not. And so at least from a price action perspective, I'm happy trading in this right now. The recent strength, no reason to miss out on it. And then from the health indicators perspective, everything is in really good shape. You can just see great, good, great. This one, neutral, just hasn't shown us anything recently. And let's just go through these one by one. So this shows how many stocks are above their 50-day moving average. Generally much easier to be making money when you're buying when most stocks are moving up and are in short-term uptrends. The 50-day moving average is just a very crude indicator of an uptrend. And the S&P 500, 89% of stocks in the S&P 500 are above their 50-day moving average. 70% of all U.S. stocks are above their 50-day moving average. So that is in great shape. Volume, not a super concern to me at the moment. And this just shows how much the S&P 500 is moving per day in percent. And typically when we have really big drops of 2% or more per day, those are warning signs. You can see they were just occurring very regularly throughout this decline, just showing us warning signs. And you can see compared to here, a little bit of an uptick here in volatility, but we're starting to come down. We had a really big spike up, which isn't so bad, and we're starting to narrow in. These smaller values are more indicative of uptrending behavior. So if we are to continue moving up, we'll generally stop getting these big massive declines like what we are seeing here, and we start to see more calm, neutral market conditions where we're not moving as volatile each day. You know, we're moving up 0.2%, 0.3%, maybe up 1%, maybe down 1%, but it's less chaotic than what we've been seeing over the last year, which is in this type of movements and indicative of a bear market downtrend. Big movements, very volatile, and so maybe we're moving out of that. We have not had any big down days in at least a few weeks. This is advanced decline line, how many stocks are moving up versus how many are moving down. It's a cumulative daily index on NYSE stocks, and you can see we have a nice clean uptrend going recently. Higher highs, higher lows, good to see, confirming what we're seeing in the price action. And this is up volume divided by down volume per day. I only care about extreme levels, 90% or 10%. 90% shows extreme buying interest. Almost all of the volume that day was in stocks moving higher. 10% lower or 10% or lower shows almost all the volume in stocks was in stocks moving lower for the day. So nothing of interest lately. We're just kind of in the mid-range, which is what we expect. We usually get extreme readings more near highs or lows. As you can see, we're getting up into the 90s here as the index was bottoming, showing some potential strength forthcoming. So those just help us out. So those are more of they'll pop up more near highs or lows. So we'll be watching for those in the future, but as of right now, we haven't had any recently, which overall works out quite good. The ultimate indicator really is how are the trades we're looking at working out. If you have a list of stocks you're watching, if that's your universe of stocks, how are they performing? Are you making money on them, or are they dead, or are they going down? And every stock on the recent watch list either held steady or moved up last week, so that's a great sign. On my watch list. So that's a great sign. It gives confidence that at least what we're watching and overall market conditions are good. A few weeks back, the list was more segmented. I'd look at it and some were going up, some were going down. So it just showed that the market wasn't quite as strong. Right now, we're definitely seeing more widespread strength, which we can just see in these indicators as well. Like we've continued to see more stocks move up. We've seen the indexes move up. And so that's just what we're seeing, more widespread strength, and that's good to see. The sectors that are performing well, these haven't changed too much over the last month or so. Industrials, financials, basic materials, and then I'd maybe add healthcare into the mix on the end. And those are the top ones when we look at over the last week, hanging out in the top area, over the last month hanging out in the top half, or the last 3 months hanging out in the top half. Those are the ones that stand out to me mostly. Mostly we're seeing those strong on the monthly. Energy, the strongest over the last 3 months, but you can see one of the worst, or not the worst, but just lagging behind in terms of performance over the last month and week. So maybe some money coming out of that sector. We'll see if it comes back in. If it starts coming back in, then you'll see energy push up into the mid to upper portion on the 1 week and the 1 month. And that shows money's coming back into the sector. But as of right now, money mostly seems to be coming out and going into these other sectors that are stronger in the top half of these lists. And how to scan for strong stocks in the strongest sectors, that article covers how to see when money's flowing in, when money's flowing out from these sectors, can help you isolate strong potential trade candidates just simply by looking within these sectors at the strongest stocks within them and finding setups there. So that's another way to scan for potential trades. The article covers how to do this on all these different scanning softwares, including Chartmill, I think, is also on there. So good article to check out. What I'm doing right now, market conditions are good. So that means if I see trades on my swing trading watch list and I like the setups and they are triggering trades, I'm willing to take those trades. I am also day trading. A reminder, no matter what course you're looking at, 20% off for Black Friday. All courses 20% off until the end of November. So you can check out the newly released price action stock day trading course, the Euro USD day trading course, or of course if you're more interested in the swing trading, we have the complete swing trading stock course. So free to check out those, and until next week, happy trading.